Hi there, Leanne Brown here, Blissful cooking teacher, and this is our last Blissful Cooking Club meetup for a while. I'm going to be going to Canada for a few weeks, and then when I get back in September, we're going to be changing to a once a month video. And it's been quite the day, quite the week for me. I've had quite a lot going on. So today's, I think, going to be kind of a quieter one. We're going to be making these beautiful Skillet Tilapia tacos with mango salsa from my cookbook, Good and Cheap. Without further ado, let's take some deep breaths together. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more, because I need it. Inhale. And exhale. And let's place our hands at heart center. Let's set our intention for our time here together in this class. Let's try to be just here now. Just this. Okay. So we're going to start by making the salsa. And the salsa is composed of mango, a little bit of, I have red pepper, but I have orange pepper today, so that's what we're using, shallot, cilantro, and lime juice. Really simple. And I'm going to just take everything and put it in here. I'm going to do almost a full recipe of this. Actually, I'll probably just do a smaller quantity because I'm just doing a couple of fillets, a smaller amount because it's just me here today. I don't need to feed so many people at the moment. And fish tacos are definitely one of those things that are nice to have fresh. So I don't want to be making a bunch that will be left over. So here I sliced off the mango cheek. Now I'm going to slice into it. I'm slicing rows gently. I think the juices are flowing. I can smell it. And now I'm going to slice across, making little cubes. I'm making these fairly small today because I'd like to have littler pieces for the salsa. So that it can kind of fall nicely on top of the fish. You can get little bits of everything in every bite. So as you can see when I do this now, it's like making these little cubes. Woo! There we go. I'm not going to want to slice like that whole thing. I'm just going to kind of slice the tops like that, like give them a little haircut. Whoop, that one's big. These ones want to come out. Just kind of slicing roughly halfway through most of them, and then I'll do the rest in a moment. Wonderful. Whoop. Little bits. Oh my gosh, super yummy. That's wonderful. That's nice, little reward. Now I'm going to slice the pepper. Although, you know, we all burp. It's a thing. Can't help it sometimes. It's actually kind of a release, to be honest. In my yoga classes and in general, I really kind of encourage people to burp. I think it's an important thing. It usually means you're letting something out. But I know, of course, it's a little impolite, and so I do apologize for that. Not something you necessarily just want to do in front of the audience. Okay, so here's my pepper. I'm slicing it into strips. The recipe calls for about a half pepper. I have slightly less than that. And I also I'm not using the whole mango. Like the portions here, it's really nice to follow the portions that I have because I know it'll be so good and for everything. But really, it's just okay to have the portions be a little bit different. The proportions is what I mean. In something like this, a salsa. Because it's really just about all these flavors intermingling. And I would like the dominant flavor to be mango here. And I think the pepper will still be kind of the background, but if it ends up being a little bit more dominant, that's also not too big of a deal. And I'm going to do the shallot, and I'm just going to do half of it because I was just doing half of the mango, and I think that would be too much otherwise. So I just slice it in half and cut off this top little root. Sorry, that's not the root actually. The root is here. We want to keep that. Just like cutting an onion. Today for me, and many days, the route to bliss in the kitchen is so simple, and it is just being here. Pardon me, exactly as we are. So I'm slicing long pieces here. And usually I would have done this first, but I made a little mistake. But I'm going to try to slice through here once. Ooh, there we go. Twice if I can do it. Wow, okay. And then now I'm going to slice into little smaller dice. You can manage that. Okay, great. There we go. Get that shallot in there. Fantastic. And then I have this bunch of cilantro, which is a little wilted. I'm just going to kind of cut the top bit off and just chop it. Oh, the aroma is so satisfying. Beautiful. In it goes. Okay. And then we have lime juice. Here we go. I'm just going to use half the lime, again, because we're making a smaller proportion. But I'm going to taste it and see what it needs. Also going to need some salt here for sure. And then we'll get started on the fish. So I have my salt here. That's about a half a teaspoon. I'm going to mix this by hand. Looks so beautiful. Very orangey. Orange and yellow, bright, chipper. Tastes great. Tastes great to me. I love that. Now I can really just set this aside until our fish is cooked. And now very simply, in the recipe, I call to use corn tortillas, but today I'm not going to. I just didn't have them. And so there we are. So I'm actually not going to do the whole warming process today. I'm just going to take my tortillas, my flour tortillas out here and have them ready. 1 and 2. I think that should be good. We'll see, I might need more. I'm doing 2 fillets. They kind of shrink up, but still, this is what I'll work with to begin with. I'm going to place that on a plate. Two tortillas on a plate. And then a little bit of salt. So I'm just doing 2 fillets. So I'm just going to do a bit of salt in here. And then smoked paprika. And cumin. Ooh, this cumin smells fabulous. Oh, it's so interesting, actually, to notice how some days certain smells smell better than others. I don't know why that is. And I find sometimes certain things really light me up. I don't know if it's something to do with changing body chemistry or what, but it's neat. So I have 2 tilapia fillets, which are all wet because, of course, they were frozen to begin with, and I've had them thawing in some cold water. And you can absolutely use any kind of whitefish you like. Tilapia is very inexpensive and accessible as far as fish go. So it tends to be my go-to for something where it just doesn't make that much of a difference. Like fish tacos. But whatever your preference is, or if you are a person who fishes yourself, how wonderful. You can absolutely use whatever you have around. Okay, and we're going to just lightly coat both sides of this with our spice blend. And I've just eyeballed the amount I need. I may need more looking at this. And you can go really light on this, or you can go pretty heavy and sort of go for more of a blackening. I'm going to go light to begin with and see what that looks like until we're out of seasoning. And then if I need more, I'll use more. That's simple, okay? We're just trying to get some flavor on here. I think I'm going to need a little more. I just feel, yeah, that's feeling right. Yeah, not quite enough. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing I just did. Salt, smoked paprika, and cumin, sort of equal parts of each. Great. It's kind of nice that the fish is so wet, actually, because the spice blend just clings to everything. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna flip one more time and just see how that looks and just add the last bits of it. Wonderful. And then I do really like to use a little bit of black pepper on everything too. Oh my gosh. Let me just clean my hand quickly. With all that spice blend, the wetness on my hand from the fish. Great. And so now I'm going to go over here, turn on the heat in my trusty cast iron pan. I use almost every darn time. I'm going to add a little bit of oil into the pan. Don't need too much. Maybe a tablespoon. And let that heat up on medium heat. And I'm going to place these in. And we are like not far from eating. That's the amazing thing about with skillet tilapia tacos, really pan seared rather than like breaded and fried the way we get them in restaurants a lot of the time. It's much quicker to do it this way, and I actually really prefer it. So, and I know, not everyone is going to agree with me, and that is okay. This is what I like. And I urge you to try it because it's really quite nice. Okay, we've got some heat happening, a decent amount. Wonderful. So I'm going to just lay our fillets. I never quite know what to say, which way to say it. Fillet or fillet? One of those fun things. It's just like the choice of the moment. Okay. Okay. I am looking for my little flipper guide. Oh, here it is. Pardon. This spatula is actually called a fish turner. And it really doesn't take long on each side at all. I haven't been paying attention to how long it is, but it's maybe another 30 seconds or so until I'm going to flip. They cook through so quickly because they just are not very thick. This part is very thin. This is a little thicker, so we'll wait till this is cooked through. So the first one I put in, I think, is ready to flip. Yes. Lovely. And I'll just quickly show you what we're working for, so you can see. So it's the change in the color. I'm going to keep taking some deep breaths. I notice I'm holding my breath a fair bit. I want to address that right now so that I'm breathing more easily the rest of my day. It's sort of my chance to reset myself a little bit through the cooking process, and then I'll be nourishing myself with the food and just getting really nice and grounded for the rest of the day ahead, as much as that is possible. Beautiful. Okay. I told you it's really fast. We're almost done here. If you don't cook with fish often, I think a lot of people think, oh my gosh, it's so fussy. And the only thing that's fussy about it is it's so darn quick cooking sometimes that you can overdo it, and then it's like not as luscious as it. It's sort of soft and tender. And that's not the end of the world. It's a learning process, but they are just very tender and quick cooking. I'm just gonna, I think this one is actually done. I'm just gonna check the thickest part of it. I'm gonna break into it a little bit. It's not quite there yet, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna move it over to this part of the center to cook the area that's thickest. Do that with the second one as well. I mean, they're starting to fall apart a little bit too. The thinner parts, and that's, to me, no biggie. To my mind, maybe. Just flipping this one more time because this area that's thick needs it. Ooh, I have anything on my face? Feel like I do. So funny. Lovely sizzling sounds. The symphony. Breathe with it. Nothing more to do right now, but just appreciate it. Nowhere to be but here. Okay, sounds like we're ready to turn it off. Yes, let's check on this. Yes, we're good. Okay. Bring this whole thing over. It's a bit ridiculous of me to try to do anything else. And I'm going to just cut this in half, my spatula. Take one half, then the other half. See that lovely piece that's falling apart? This is the thicker edge that we had to wait for. This is the thinner one that cooked very quickly. And I'll leave this fillet for later. Back over here. And now the salsa. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. How pretty that is. And all the aroma. Gorgeous. Okay. So 1 and 2. 2 little tacos. And if you're making it for a larger number of people, obviously you'll sort of want to like keep going in batches with the fillets or use a bigger pan. And I do like to toast the corn tortillas first, but also you can skip that part too if that feels like a little bit too much fuss. It's just nice to have some crisp. But this is it. So that was really simple. You know, your own fish tacos, and what did that take us? About 25 minutes. I don't feel super rushed. Now, admittedly, this is just for two, not for a larger number of people, but still it's pretty quick and easy. So I hope you feel good about that and might give it a try. Let me know, as always, any thoughts, feelings. Send this along to anyone you think could benefit, and let me know if you have any requests for the future, and I will see you in a month or so. Thank you so very, very much. Bye-bye.